All right, yo, I'm gonna continue this book for you, yo. Yo, we're in part two. I started part. It's this is the first novel, but it's part two of the novel. So chapter two, basically. You know what I mean? And then after this, so we'll go to part one. And then cause yeah, the book started a bit different, starting the action, but people got they're on some other shit. So, anyways, here we go. It continues. If you want to check the first part, go back to the other video. It continues around here. I'm gonna fucking pick it up and we'll go. Let's go. Anyways, so his parents lived in a building area, so there were always many kids outside, along with Pete. One day, some kids got roller skates, and Pete asked how much they cost since he wanted some as well. The kids told him they were 60 lei, and they told him from what store they bought them. Pete went upstairs and asked his mother if she could buy him some as well, and she told him no. So Pete went to his dad and asked him if he could buy them for him. His dad snapped at him and told him that his mother already said no, so that means no. P knew there was no point of arguing and begging with his dad because he knew if he did, not only would he not get the roller skates, he would also get a beating, and he just wanted roller skates, not a beating. That's when he learned his second life lesson. If he didn't get what he wanted himself, he would never have it. P sat and thought to himself, how can I get the roller skates? If my parents don't buy them for me, I will never have them, and they already said no when I asked. If I ask them again, I would just get a beating, so there's no point to ask again. Fuck that, he thought. I want them, and I'm going to get them. But how? He asked himself. I can't steal them from the store because they are too big and they will catch me. I can steal something and sell it and buy them with the money, or I can steal some money and buy them, he reasoned. He decided stealing the money directly would save him some time and trouble, so now he was on the hunt to rob someone. The next day he was at his grandma's house. She had a bunch of guests over and they had their purses on a couch. P went and started looking through them and he found one with money. He didn't know who it belonged to and he didn't care because he wanted the roller skates and he knew if he didn't get them himself he'd never have them. He took 100 lei from one of the purses and since the roller skates were only 60 lei, he had enough. P was happy he had the money, but he knew he couldn't just show up home with the roller skates or the money for them because his parents weren't stupid and they asked him where he got the money and he couldn't tell them he stole it, so he had to find a way to justify the money. He thought about it and he knew whoever he stole from would realize it sooner or later, and if he popped up with the same amount the next day, everyone would know he was the one that stole it, so he knew he had to justify the money somehow without getting discovered. You understand? The next day, his grandma, along with a friend and her teenage son, took him back to his parents' building. He and Pete walked up ahead, and not far from their destination, Pete saw a stand or kiosk that sold smokes, candies, lottery tickets, and small things. That's when he had an idea. He told the teen he'd give him 10 lei if he bought him a lottery ticket, which was 1 lei. He had to buy it from the 10 Pete would give him. The teen said okay, sure, since he was getting 9 lei for himself. They were about 50 meters ahead of his grandma and her friend, and they could go to the and he got to the kiosk much before them. Pete told the man at the counter that his friend was going to buy him a single ticket and he'd pay him 10 lei so that to say that he won and that the winnings were 80 lei. The man at the kiosk agreed, so Pete gave him the 100 lei and the man handed Pete a ticket. The ticket wasn't the winner, but Pete jumped for joy and started yelling, I won, I won, I won, motherfuckers, I won. The man at the stand gave Pete 80 lei from the 100 Pete snuck him when they made the deal, and also 9 lei to the teen. Pete was all excited and happy. His grandma and her friend approached and asked Pete what all the commotion was about. Pete told her he just won 80 lei from a single ticket that her friend's son bought him. Since his grandma saw the man hand Pete the money, she believed it. Pete was happy and he knew that now he could go show up with the money with a concrete explanation and he'd be able to get the roller skates. They got to the corner of the street which led to his parents' building, and Pete walked the rest of the way himself since his grandma was in a hurry to get home. He walked into the apartment happy and he walked into the apartment happy and he told his mom he just won the lottery and he had 80 lei so she could buy him the roller skates with his money he just won. His mom didn't believe him, so Pete told her how grandma's friend's son bought him a 1 lei ticket and he won. His mom called his dad and told him, but his dad didn't believe him either and told Pete, you're lying. I'm going to catch in your lie, and you're going to get it. P told him it wasn't a lie, and he told him how he won, and his dad said to him, "You think you're smart? Yesterday you wanted roller skates, and today you won the lotto. Okay, I'm going to catch you." "I'm not lying, Grandma. Was there when I won? Ask her," P told him. He picked up the phone to call his grandma, and he asked P if he was sure. Like, "You sure, motherfucker? I'm going to call you sure?" And P knew his story checked out, and he said, "Call her." His dad called his grandma and told her that P just came home with money for roller skates that he won at the lotto. His grandma assured him that he did, but his dad still didn't believe the story, and he told his grandma there's no way P wanted the roller skates the previous day, and today he magically won the lotto. P's grandma explained him that she saw it with her own eyes and that it was true because she was right there when it happened, so P's dad had no choice but to believe it. He looked at P, no, true story, real deal. He looked at P and hung up the phone, and P told him, "I told you." P could see that his dad was suspicious, but since his story checked out, he couldn't do anything. P was happy about it and thought he did good, and he gave his mom the money for the roller skates so she could buy them for him. She took the money and told P she'll buy them for him, and that's when P learned his third lesson. Never give your money to someone if you expect to see it again. He never got the roller skates as promised, and he never saw the money again either. Straight up, homie. Yo, between the time P was 4 and 5, he lived between his parents' building, which was a communist build project, and his grandma's house. At the building, P would go outside from morning and stay out all night till nighttime. He always watched everything, so he was aware of what happened around him, and he always had his knife with him in case of anything. One day he was playing outside and he started pushing a swing in the playground. The swing had a rusty metal frame, and the swing itself was a wooden box with the metal edges you had to climb in. Since P was too small to climb in it by himself, he just pushed it back and forth. He was pushing the swing harder and harder, and it picked up momentum, and somehow it came back hard and fast and smashed P in the top of his head with the metal edge on the front of the wooden box. It banged P in the head pretty hard and cut the top of his head open, and blood started pouring out of his head on him. He started crying, and some pretty girls that were walking by picked him up in their arms, knowing he was the son of their English teacher, and they brought him around the corner to his building. P's head was still bleeding a few minutes later when the girls brought him home, and they dropped him off and left. His parents thanked the girls. Then his dad got angry that he had to take P to the hospital to get his head stitched shut since the cut was pretty bad, and he started beating P. He slapped him around a bit while yelling at him, and then pulled him to the washroom and started hitting his hands on the sink while yelling at him. His dad was furious and kept hitting P's hands against the sink hard enough that the sink broke off the wall, and then he got even more angry, seeing P broke the sink, and slapped him around some more. Nice, buddy. Super nice, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Father. Love you, buddy. His mom was yelling at his dad, and P was crying and bleeding from his head as he got slapped around. He was angry with his dad and wondered what he did to deserve the beating instead of being taken to the hospital to get the cut on his head taken care of. Finally, his dad calmed down, and his mom took him to the hospital where the doctor put a staple in his head to close the cut. P knew his dad was fucked up, so he tried his best to stay out of his way. He knew he couldn't win since he was about 5 times smaller at least, and P didn't like to get beat, especially for no reason. School started, and P went to kindergarten where he learned to read, and he was the best in the class since he learned everything very fast while the other kids took much longer. P didn't care much for school, but he liked recess where they went outside. One day P was in the apartment. He was almost 5 years old, and his little sister was 2. She must have been the only girl in their small city with red hair, and she wanted to go outside and play. She came in and asked her older siblings to take her outside, but they said no, so she told them she's going by herself. P's older brother Dre was 7, and his older sister was 6. P, thinking about the way the kids outside behaved, told them, "One of you guys go outside with her because the kids will pick on her." "You worry too much," they told him, while his little sister walked out the door. Pete told him he's not worried, but he knows how the kids are, and that if she's by herself, they will pick on her because she's too small to defend herself, and he told him to go after her. His older siblings ignored him, and Pete waited to hear the noise outside. His older siblings ignored him, and Pete waited to hear noise outside when his little sister stepped out of the building. 2 minutes or so later, he heard the kids laughing and he knew it started. He told his older siblings that they are fucking idiots, and he ran to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and ran down the stairs with the knife in his hands. He ran out of the building's front door, and as he opened it, he saw about 20 kids surrounding his baby sister, poking her and laughing at her, so P ran down the building steps towards them. When they saw P coming down at them with his knife to fuck them up, they started running in every direction. P's little sister was crying, and P chased after the bigger kids while picking up rocks off the floor and whipping them after the kids' heads. He chased them a few meters while throwing rocks after them, and he saw a nice big piece of a brick. He picked it up and threw it with all his power, hoping it hits one of the bullies' heads while they turned the corner behind the building. But he saw it going a bit too far to the left side towards a window on the first floor apartment building which belonged to his friend. His heart sank knowing glass is expensive and he's about to get a big beating to pay for it. The big piece of brick smashed into the window with a crash. Bang! Smash. The bullies got lucky. Half a meter to the right and it would have got one of them in the back of the head. Serious things that got lucky on that one. P knew he fucked up and he wondered how he was going to get out of this mess. A beating from his dad was unavoidable and he knew he was in trouble. He walked back to his building staircase pissed off, thinking none of this would have happened had his older siblings listened to him and went down with his little sister when he told them to. He checked to see if his baby sister was okay. She was wiping off her tears, but P saw she was fine, and he knew he had a bigger problem now. He walked into his building, leaving his sister outside. She'd be fine now that he chased the bullies off. He started walking up the steps to get to the third floor where he lived. He heard someone coming down the steps and he looked up and saw his mother. His mother. Surprise, surprise. The hero's coming down the steps. In Romanian, people talk outside from balcony to balcony. His mom probably even heard the window break, so she knew what happened already, and she saw him. And when she saw him, she told him to go upstairs and kneel down in the living room in front of his dad, in front of his fucking loving father. Go kneel down in front of your loving father. Yes, mother. Pete told her, that's not part in the book, nigga, that's extra, bro. Pete told her if he did that, his dad would ask why he's kneeling there. Of course, why are you kneeling there, nigga? And if he told him, he'd get a serious beating. His mom told him she's going to church and that if she saw... Oh, pardon me. His mom told him she's going to church and that if she was... And if when she gets back, he's not kneeling in the living room in front of his dad's desk like she told him to, she'd tell his dad he didn't listen to her and he'd get an even bigger beating. And she left. Ta-da! Have a fun beating, buddy. Yo, P yelled after her that if he does that, she'll find him beaten, not kneeling, but she didn't turn back. P stood up in the staircase and wondered what to do. He knew he was going to get a beating anyway, and if his mom told his dad he didn't listen to her on top of the broken window, he'd get it even worse. He was angry with the situation, angry with his older siblings that they didn't listen to him, and angry with his mother that she told him to go kneel in the living room, knowing he's going to get beat down. And he was angry he threw the rock too far to the left. Why, motherfucker, why? He knew he was fucked either way, and he had nowhere else to go, so he decided to go and do what his mom said and receive a smaller beating, because it made more sense to get a smaller beating than a bigger one. It does. It makes more sense. Yo, he walked up the stairs knowing every step. Yo, interruption, bro. I was a little kid, bro. I was like 5 years old, bro. Like if I was an adult, like I'm stupid now too. I'm retarded. I smoke myself retarded. But yo, like if he can't, let's say the same situation. Yeah, I'm saying that I was still a little kid, same situation. Yo, why are you needing there? Yo, bro, fucking, you know what I mean? Some boys attacked your little baby daughter, homie. Like 20 of them, homie. They fucking jumped on her, homie, and I fucking defended her. You know what I'm saying? And they fucking ran away. So I started throwing rocks after them, homie. You know what I mean? And then shit got fucked up. But I would have started like that. And maybe it would have turned different. You know what I'm saying? But watch what happened. Yo, I was only like 5 years old, bro. And I couldn't think of what to say. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, let's get back to the book. Sorry about the interruption. So, yo. Yeah. So, he knew he was fucked either way. And he had nowhere to go, else to go. So, he decided to go out to do what his mom said and receive a smaller beating. Because it made more sense to get a smaller beating than a bigger one. So he walked up the stairs knowing every step he took. He was walking closer and closer to a beating from his dad for defending his baby sister from the bullies. Even though he did break the window by accident, he knew it wasn't right to get a beating for defending his helpless baby sister. And he knew the second his dad asked him why he was kneeling and he told him, he wouldn't even get a chance to explain. He walked into the house knowing he's about to get fucked up. and kneeled in the living room where his dad's desk was. P could feel the seconds ticking down, and he knew it wasn't going to be much longer till his dad asked him why he was kneeling there. About 20 seconds later, his dad asked him, "Why are you kneeling on the floor, bud?" P thought that P thought what the best possible answer would be to avoid a beating, but he knew lying would only make it worse. But he also knew the second that he said he broke a window, he was going to get it, so he didn't know what to say. He stayed on his knees thinking of an answer, but his dad asked in a sterner voice, "Ask you what you're on your knees. What are you doing there?" P still couldn't think of an answer that would make it easier on him. Stayed quiet thinking, "Come on, man, think of something quick. What the fuck can I say? What the fuck can I say?" He felt the pressure building, and he knew it was about to blow, and it wasn't going to be pretty. But he couldn't think of anything to say to make the beating that was approaching more pleasant. And that's when his dad snapped on him. "Oh, what the fuck are you kneeling on the floor for?" His dad looked like he was ready to kill him. Since he couldn't think of anything, and at this point, every second without an answer was making it worse for him, he told him, "I broke the window on the first floor, and Mom told me to." He didn't even finish his sentence when his dad ran around the desk and grabbed the only wooden bookshelf in the library, the empty wooden bookshelf in the library, and smashed P with it across his head. P fell back, and his dad beat him with the wooden shelf. Then he grabbed P and picked him up and smashed him down on the bed a few times, knocking the wind out of him. P was angry and pissed off, and his anger was way stronger than the physical pain, and he wanted to kill his dad, but he knew if he tried, his dad would overpower him. P took the beating and swearing to himself when he gets bigger, he's going to fuck his dad up for these senseless beatings. Just then, his mom walked in the door and saw P getting thrown in the air against the ceiling and smashed back down on the bed, and she tried to stop his dad, but he slapped her around as well. She started crying, and P was angry with both of them, hating both of them, since it was his mom's idea to kneel down in front of his psycho dad. He even told her he's going to get beat down, and she walked off, and now she felt bad, and she got beat down too. He felt a bit bad for her, and he thought, "You deserve it, you dumb bitch, because this was your idea, and this is what I get for protecting my baby sister, who's your baby daughter, from 20 bullies." He was angry and pissed off, and he wanted to rip his dad to pieces, but he knew he couldn't. "When I get bigger, this motherfucker's going to get it," he told himself. "I'm going to fuck him up. Fucking punk is going to fucking die, motherfucker. I swear to God." He was in a rage. He had nobody to call for help to help him, so he stormed outside while his mom was on the floor crying, wishing someone tried to fuck with him so he could rip them to pieces. During the week, Pete went to kindergarten, which ended at lunchtime, and the rest of the time he played outside by himself or with kids from the building. He played on the hill near the train tracks all the time around the building. He'd make slingshots and weapons to have for fights with kids from other buildings, and he liked exploring places and being outside all day. One day he was at home in the apartment, and he saw a stack of money on a shelf. He knew it was his parents' money, but since his dad was an asshole and always beat him for no reason, and his mom always stole on him, he thought fuck both of them and decided to take some. He called his brother in on it, and they took 100 lei and went into the city. They bought some toys and played outside, and later went home. His parents asked them where they got the toys, and Pete told them they found some money by the train tracks and bought them. That was the story, and Pete told his brother to stick to it. His parents didn't believe him, and right away his dad went and counted the money in the room and noticed 100 was missing. They questioned him, but Pete stuck to his story, and he knew they couldn't prove he didn't find the money. His parents told him they knew he stole from them, but Pete knew they had no proof, and even if they were 100% sure, they didn't catch him in the act, so they had nothing, just suspicion. Pete stuck to his story, but his brother Dre cracked and admitted that they stole the money from the dresser. Pete got a nice beating, and his parents took the toys. Pete was angry with his brother, and he told him, Why did you admit to that and tell on us? You're so stupid. What's wrong with you?" Dre told him that they already knew, so they were caught anyway. "You're just stupid. Even if they knew, they had no proof. They can't prove we didn't find it, even if they are missing money. And even if they were suspicious and knew it was us, if we stuck to the story, they couldn't have done anything. Now we got beat down and they took the toys. You're so dumb." Pete was mad with his brother for betraying him, and that's when he learned his fourth lesson. If you want something done right, do it yourself. Also, if it's something illegal, you're better off doing it alone so no one else can tell on you, and also you don't have to split the money with anyone, so that's a win-win situation. You know what I'm saying? Yo, fuck, bro. We're already at 20 minutes, bro. I'm going to stop it right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, I guess I'll continue later if anybody wants to see how the little homie got down and made all his dreams come true, bro. Cause I made them all come true, nigga. Yo, I'm living my I made it. That's what I do. But yo, if you niggas wanna see what's good, let me know. You know what I mean? Fucking, it gets better. It gets better, bro. Kind of starts off slow, you know, but it gets better. Anyways, you guys have a good day. Bless.